This message is for the so-called Negro, the so-called African American, the true indigenous ones, because America belongs to the indigenous Hebrew Israelites, for Jerusalem, the city of Zion, resides here. So this message is for you, dear black people, so-called black people. It amazes me how we still haven't put two and two together that Yahweh, the creator, the father, Abba, the sovereign one, the true king of kings, right? For he is the ruler of all kingdoms and he controls all dominions. It's amazing to me that we still haven't put it together and return only back to him. Like, we don't understand that we have been lied to and they have fabricated the story in the New Testament. Like, check out that scripture down there, Numbers 23:19, right? I have so many debates on this right here, and it amazes me the things that people come up with. It says, God or Yahweh is not a human being, and he will not lie. He is not a human, and he will not change his mind. Whatever Yahweh says he's going to do, he will do it, he will accomplish it, right? But what they say in that New Testament about that mythical character, that so-called Christ, that Jesus fella, right? That he is God in the flesh. He is God who became human. But out of the mouth of the Creator, he says specifically that I'm not a human being, right? Like, I'm not a man. I will not lie to you. I don't change my mind. I don't do manly things. But we still don't want to put two and two together because we so caught up in this New Testament. It's our stumbling block. But you don't understand that when I and other people say return to the Creator of heaven and earth, that means return to God, to your Father, to the Creator who created you. There's no sin in that. Only sin is not returning to him and seeing him as a solo act, right? And of course you have his hosts, his hostess, the angels, right? But seeing him as a solo act to be worshipped, that there's no middleman, there's no mediums, there's no none of that. It's only him, for he is the creator of all things, good and evil, right? Of all things. Read Isaiah chapter 45. He will tell you, like, do I not create good? Do I not create evil? I, Yahweh, does all things, meaning there's no devil. The only adversary is when Yahweh, God of heaven, is against you. So you made him your adversary. So he controls all things. So you can't blame another entity like, oh, this demon or this devil. The devil's a lie. No. Don't you know when you say that, you mocking the Creator? For Yahweh is not a lie. If you do wrong, you go left, and you're not going right, Yahweh is going to punish you, discipline you, show you the way, right? Or keep you in darkness, or turn that light bulb on. So you got to think, right? See, to go kind of deep but not too much, you guys don't understand who that Messiah is in the New Testament. And I'm not even talking about Jesus, Yahweh Shai. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about who the true Messiah is in there. Like, that is a Roman story. If you don't know who Josephus is, look him up. Josephus was an Edomite who turned Roman, who pretty much did writings for the Romans, and they put this New Testament together, right? So the Romans had him write out their prophecies, writing about their story. That Messiah in the New Testament is Titus. That is the Messiah in the New Testament. That's who their coming Messiah is talking about. You must understand this, man. If it's not talking about no JC, no none of that. See, what happened was this. They created that fabricated story and turned that Jesus into a story which was actually talking about a Roman person who turned himself into a deity and made himself a god and had people worshiping him when they think that they are worshiping Jesus. Go on YouTube, man. Look up this documentary. Like, Jesus Christ is not the Messiah. Look it up, man. Or should I say, I think it's called The Roman's Messiah. I forgot, it mistakes me right now, like who the dude is. It's crazy because I just watched it, but so look it up, man, so you can understand who that Messiah is really talking about in that New Testament. They just created some stories and did a few and plagiarized a few scriptures just to get people caught up on the hook. Especially I'm talking about the chosen people, so-called Negro, so-called African American. But at the same time, have everybody praising a Roman deity who turned himself into a quote-unquote God by creating a Jesus story, which people think that they're serving Jesus, but they're actually serving a Roman God. It's wild. But yo, dear black people, and not all black people, because all skin folk ain't kinfolk. If you are looked at as a byword and a proverb, and that means if they call you a NIGGA, they call you racial slurs, and people that's your skin color, these Africans and others, like in different foreign nations and people who we are around, you see what's going on in this world today. If they are speaking ill about you, being cruel towards you, right, then you are of the chosen people of Yahweh, part of the 12 tribes of Yasharala, commonly called Israel. You, the so-called Negro, so-called African American, are part of the 12 tribes of Yasharala. That means you return to Yahweh. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. See, in America, it has all the ancient ruins. So you got Egypt over here. So you got these Anunnaki worshippers, or thinking they're the Anunnakis, whatever. It's a crazy mixed up story. And you got these witches, you got these warlocks, and you got these women, right? These men just on here talking reckless, just spreading more lies and more confusion because they have an open platform, and they can speak and they can draw attention and gain views and convince people to listen to their nonsense. So now your mind is cluttered with fabrications that's not true. And that's their whole agenda, these witches and warlocks. We're not Anunnakis. I'm talking to the so-called Negro African American. We're not Anunnakis. We are the ancient Hebrew Yasharala or Hebrew Israelites. That's what we are. We are them because Jerusalem is here. Zion is here. The promised land is here in America. That's the truth. This is why the so-called Negro cannot be like deported, because this is our land. And Egyptians also hold ties to some of these lands because Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt is over here. So some of the ancient people and their descendants are here as well. But that's prophecy. That's in Isaiah. Look it up, man. It's going to tell you that Egypt was spread to the four corners of the earth. Well, was spread throughout the nations as well. And then the Egyptians are awakening to know who they are, right? And so they're awakening and they're telling their story. But we all share the same color, so we think we got the same story. We don't. The so-called Negro, I'm talking about you who is waking up to know that you are the chosen people of God, the creator of heaven and earth, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If that burns strongly in you, that means you are the chosen people of Yahweh. You return to him alone and turn from all religions, all ideologies, and just return to him, Yahweh. And that's it. Let these witches and warlocks do their thing. Let people be into that New Testament. It's false. They don't even get it or understand it. They don't want to. They want to